A long time ago, in the beautiful land of Egypt, the sun shone bright over golden sands and tall pyramids. The Nile River flowed through the land like a ribbon, bringing life to the people. But while Egypt was beautiful, it was also a place of sadness for the Israelites. These people, once free and happy, were now slaves to the Egyptians. Pharaoh, the mighty king of Egypt, made them work all day, building cities and carrying heavy stones. Their lives were hard, and they cried out to God to save them. Pharaoh saw that the Israelites were having many children. He became afraid. What if they become too many and fight against me, he thought. So he made a terrible rule. Every baby boy born to the Israelites must be thrown into the Nile River, he commanded. The Israelites were heartbroken. How could they keep their babies safe? They prayed to God day and night, hoping for a miracle. In one small house, Jochebed and her husband, Amram, lived with their 2 children, Miriam and Aaron. Jochebed was a kind and loving mother, and she prayed for her family's safety every day. One day, Jochebed gave birth to a baby boy. He was tiny, with soft skin and big, bright eyes. When she held him in her arms, she felt a deep love that made her heart ache. "He is so beautiful," she whispered. "How can I let Pharaoh take him away?" Jochebed and Amram decided to hide the baby. For 3 months, they kept him safe. They wrapped him in blankets to keep him warm and sang lullabies to keep him calm. Miriam, his big sister, helped care for him, while Aaron tried to make him laugh. But as the baby grew, his cries became louder. Jochebed knew they couldn't hide him much longer. "We need to find another way," she said. One night, Jochebed sat by the fire, weaving reeds into a basket. She worked carefully, making sure it was strong and watertight. Amram helped coat it with tar to keep the water out. The next morning, Jochebed lined the basket with soft cloth. She kissed her baby's forehead and whispered, "God will watch over you, my son." She placed him gently in the basket and covered him with a small blanket. "Miriam," she said, turning to her daughter, "follow the basket and see where it goes. Stay hidden and watch over your brother." Miriam nodded bravely. "I will take care of him, Mama," she promised. Jochebed carried the basket to the edge of the Nile River. The water sparkled in the sunlight, and birds chirped in the reeds. She knelt down and placed the basket in the water. As the basket floated away, her tears mixed with her prayers. "Lord, keep him safe," she said. The basket floated down the river, past reeds and rocks. Small fish swam alongside it, and dragonflies buzzed above. The baby inside cried softly, his voice carried by the breeze. Not far away, Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, was walking by the river with her servants. She loved the river and often came there to bathe and relax. Suddenly, she saw something unusual floating in the water. "What is that?" the princess asked. "Bring it to me." One of her servants waded into the water and brought the basket to her. When the princess opened the lid, she gasped. Inside was a baby, crying softly. His tiny hands reached out as if asking for comfort. "This must be one of the Hebrew babies," the princess said. But instead of feeling angry, her heart filled with love. "I will keep him," she decided. "I will raise him as my own son." Miriam had been hiding behind some tall reeds, watching everything. When she saw the princess holding her baby brother, she took a deep breath and stepped out of her hiding place. "Excuse me, Your Highness," Miriam said politely. "Would you like me to find a Hebrew woman to take care of the baby for you?" The princess looked at Miriam with a kind smile. "Yes, that's a wonderful idea. Please bring someone." Miriam ran as fast as she could back to her house. "Mama, Mama," she called. "The princess found the baby, and she wants you to take care of him." Jochebed couldn't believe what she heard. She followed Miriam back to the river, her heart racing. When the princess saw Jochebed, she said, "Take care of this baby for me. When he is older, he will live with me in the palace. I will call him Moses because I drew him out of the water." Jochebed was overjoyed. She could raise her baby safely, knowing he was under the princess's protection. She named him Moses, just as the princess had said. For the next few years, Jochebed cared for Moses with all her heart. She sang to him, fed him, and taught him about God. She told him stories about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and about how God promised to protect their people. As Moses grew, he became strong and smart. He loved playing with Miriam and Aaron, but he always listened carefully when Jochebed spoke about God. "You are special, my son," she told him. "God has a plan for you." When Moses was old enough, Jochebed brought him to the palace. It was a grand place, with golden walls, sparkling fountains, and servants everywhere. Pharaoh's daughter welcomed him with open arms. "From now on, you will live here with me," she said. She gave Moses fine clothes and food fit for a prince. But even though Moses grew up in the palace, he never forgot Jochebed's teachings. He often looked out of the palace windows and saw the Israelites working as slaves. His heart ached for them. Deep inside, he felt that God had saved him for a reason. One day, he would understand why. Moses grew up to be a strong and wise man. He remembered the love of his mother, the bravery of his sister, and the kindness of the princess. Most of all, he remembered the stories about God and his promises. One day, Moses would lead the Israelites to freedom, but for now, his journey was just beginning. God had a great plan for him, and it all started with a tiny baby floating in a basket on the Nile. Moral lessons. 1. God has a plan for everyone. No matter how small or helpless you feel, God has a special purpose for your life, just like he did for Moses. 2. Bravery and kindness matter. Jochebed, Miriam, and the princess all showed courage and kindness. Their actions remind us that small, brave choices can change lives. 3. Faith brings hope. Jochebed trusted God, even when things seemed impossible. Her faith helped her son grow into the leader God had planned him to be. If this story touched your heart, share it with others who need to hear about God's love and protection. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring stories from the Bible. Let's learn together and grow in faith. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching and God bless you.